If history repeats, we are about to enter the most exciting part of crypto's entire 4-year cycle. It's the big blow off top, the banana zone, the face melting rallies crypto has been famous for. Now that we've seen so much inflow into Bitcoin over the past couple of years, it's now super high relative to the rest of the market. So at first we see a big rotation into Ethereum before it heads further down the risk curve, officially alt season. And so in this video, as always, we'll be covering the latest price action as it appears crypto is trying to break out as we speak. Then we'll look at where are we in the 4-year cycle as we move into the most exciting part. And then we'll finish with the biggest developments from all around the world in just the past couple of weeks. Okay, so first up, with Bitcoin literally banging on the door right now, trying to break through to another all-time high, let's check out the latest price action. So jumping in with the BTC USD chart, and what do we see? Well, ever since it set this last all-time high, this is all the way back in May now, we've had this sideways consolidation, a bit of a wedge pattern going on here, which it now has recently broken through. Couldn't quite hold, but you can see it's now banging on this wall, and the more times it can bang on the resistance, the higher the probability that you'll actually get the breakthrough. So this is a really exciting time right now. Can it blow through? Especially with all these news headlines going on with Trump tariffs. Now, the good thing here is that in a bull market, this pattern kind of just keeps repeating. If we zoom out a bit, you can see sideways consolidation into a breakout, sideways consolidation fading down into a breakout, sideways consolidation, a bit of a scare at the bottom before the next breakout. This was a huge sideways consolidation, always fading down, so it feels like you're actually losing money the whole time. This is the big scare before the breakout, and this pattern, as you can see, is just repeating. So in a bull market, this is all good because the overall trend is up. Obviously, this is opposite to the actual crypto winters, where you do get these sharp down moves. It's sideways consolidation. A lot of the time, it's actually going up this time, making you feel like it's going to come back. It's this reverse psychology, very, very evil, before it flushes you down to the next low. Then the sideways consolidation, if you noticed, it actually floats upwards. So it feels like you're making money. It's going to come back. Crypto is going to set new highs and then flushes you down. Same thing, going to set new highs, flushes you down, and it stair steps all the way down. Very, very brutal. So luckily we are on the flip side where it's the opposite. It's very strange how these patterns just seem to repeat in reverse. It's very much like a mirror. So this is where we're at right now. And something else to point out, which is pretty interesting. Now, do you remember a while back when everyone was banging on about these Wyckoff accumulations and these Wyckoff's distributions? So check this out. This is the Wyckoff accumulation. So you set the high here, and then you get the sharp move down, but it doesn't quite break below. So you set the support down here. It then came up, but didn't get quite as high. So it's slightly less. Then it comes down into this final flush out before coming back to the high, consolidate, and breakthrough. So remember, high, the next move not as high into the flush out. And then what do we see right now? We see the high. Remember, it came down, then the secondary, but not quite as high, then into the flush out, then into sideways consolidation breakout. So this is pretty much exactly textbook Wyckoff accumulation. So that's pretty interesting there. So it's exciting times. This is bullish momentum. And as long as we don't get any crazy new negative headlines, it's looking very, very good for a breakout. Now, when it comes to seasonality, the one thing that's jumping out to me is, are we beginning to see this big rotation from Bitcoin into the altcoins? And first, it normally goes into Ethereum, king of the altcoins, before heading down or heading up the risk curve into the smaller caps. So apart from Q1, where Ethereum had a very bad Q1, ever since then, Ethereum is now looking really, really strong. So if we just break this down into the months for Ethereum, we can see Q1 was very, very bad, but pretty much from April, so although this is red, it's only down 1%, that's pretty kind of flat. Then we had a 40% month, again 1%, so kind of neutral. And then so far this month, 11%. So the question is, has the rotation into Ethereum began? And if so, like previous post-halving years, we should get a nice run of 3 to 5 big green months. Similar to here, 2021, 3 to 5 big green months. So question is this what we're about to see here? Because if we look at Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, we can see that it's all lining up. When this is shooting up, it means this is alt season, this is Bitcoin season, this is alt season, and we can see for the past few years now, feels like an eternity, it has been Bitcoin season. Altcoins and Ethereum have been getting absolutely crushed. It broke through the floor here, and again, is this the big rotation that started about 3 months ago? So this is what I really have my eye on here, especially into the headwinds of high rates and still running QT. So as always in the crypto market, lots of uncertainty, but this is the big thing for me going on right now. Now, when it comes to the 4-year cycle, this is now like 4, 8, 12 to 15 years in the making. And it says if history repeats, we are moving into July here. So we're just about here. And if history repeats, this is where we begin to get the massive breakouts to the upside. This is what happened if you overlay previous cycles onto today's price. This is where it would be, and this is the average here of the 3. So we should be finding the local bottom first week, second week of July, and then it's off to the races. So super exciting time. This would suggest a big July, an even bigger August. Then September could be a big correction month, and then October, November, December with some pullbacks could be the massive blow off top. This is just another way of looking at the same thing. In one of the cycles, it did go further deeper into July. So this is mid-July, maybe even just a little bit later for 2021. This cycle, pretty much a few days into July, it would have found the local bottom. 2017's probably about a week, 10 days into July. So getting really, really close. And then this one I like to look at as well, because I know for a fact this is measured all the cycles together days from the last halving. So this time we can measure up, we can see this cycle actually peaked before. These two peaked, it's about 18 months after the halving. But the local bottom for 2017 had just been hit. The local bottom for 2021 had just been hit. Very similar ways of looking at the same thing. But this is the most exciting period of the entire 4-year cycle, this next 5 months. And the developments just keep coming through. I think because of Trump opening the floodgates to crypto, the rest of the world is now having to follow suit. We see Japan proposing to reclassify crypto, paving the way for ETFs and lower taxes coming from the Far East. Lots of partnerships. This was one with Chainlink and MasterCard to allow 3 billion cardholders to buy crypto. I love it how we now just breeze over headlines like 3 billion people able to buy crypto. This was a huge one. in the US regulator orders Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to consider people's crypto assets for mortgages. Now, I'm in the UK right now, and still we have the opposite of this. Lenders hate the fact that people have crypto assets. So this is the US again leading the way, and this will bleed into other countries over the coming months and years. Right now, it's the opposite in the UK. Lenders are stopping to lend people if they have crypto assets, which is crazy. So great to see this big push starting in the US. Major German bank to offer crypto trading by 2026 amid the FOMO. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Germany, your fear of missing out might just take you opening the doors to crypto right into the next bear market. So we'll see how this plays out. But it's still developments and still builds the groundwork for 2027. We had the first Solana staking ETF hit the US. It kind of came through a different backdoor, which was very clever by this company, and it had very healthy first day trading. But many more ETFs for various cryptos will be opening up over the coming months as well. And then finally, Emirates, the premium airline, have just signed with Crypto.com to enable crypto payments on their airlines. So plenty of nice developments from all around the world. If history repeats, we are about to move into the most exciting part of this 4-year cycle. Bitcoin's banging on the door of another all-time high as we speak, and the more it bangs, the higher the probability of the next breakout. Seasonality shows maybe the local bottom is now in for Ethereum, meaning the big rotation has just occurred, officially starting alt season. In the 4-year cycle, it's pretty much around about now where we move into the final stage and get 3 to 5 months of crazy price action. Big question is, will history repeat once again? And the crypto developments from all around the world just keep coming in every single week with no sign of slowdown either. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. So we're moving in to the most exciting part in this 4-year cycle. Hold on to your hats, because the second half of this year is likely going to be another one for the record books. If you do have any burning questions, then simply use SuperThanks below. However, just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.